This short clip presents 5 basic truths you won't hear in business school. The world is becoming increasingly educated. Globalization and technological trends are reshaping the global labor market. Specialized skills, especially advanced analytical skills, are in high demand. And so business school education is very popular. My name's Dr. Sharon Schembri, and I've been teaching at universities around the world for more than 25 years. I've taught in England and Asia, as well as Australia and the US. You can check out my many publications on Google Scholar and LinkedIn. I'll put the links in the description box below. So if the world is becoming more educated and business school education is in high demand, we have to look at the pros and cons of heading off in that direction. This recording highlights 5 truths you won't hear in business school. So if you like what I have to say, if you think this content is useful, please like, share, and comment below. I look forward to hearing from you. So the 5 truths we're going to talk about today begin with you understanding that your story is your competitive advantage and that a perfect GPA is probably a waste of time. From there, we connect business success with personal development and indeed failure. And we end by highlighting that business is both art and science. So let's get started. So let's talk about you and your story, because who you are and all that you've experienced to bring you to this point in time constitutes your advantage. Be able to articulate the lessons that you have learned, the challenges that you've overcome, because these experiences have delivered valuable transformations. Recognize what you bring to the table. Recognize all that you offer. Recognize that you're building on a strong foundation. So let's talk about grades, because some students might mistakenly assume that grades is what matters, that a perfect 4.0 GPA is the way to go. But grades are not necessarily an accurate indicator of intelligence or capability, and they don't guarantee business success. A high GPA might indicate that the program you're enrolled in is not as discerning as maybe it could be or should be. Or maybe your high GPA is demonstrating that you've got a tendency towards perfectionism. And neither of these things are valuable skills on the job market. So if you're a straight A student, the question becomes why? If you're so clever to get straight A's, then why are you not more involved in the community? By rounding out your resume with community service, with extracurricular activities that demonstrate that you've got more to offer than academic skills, you're actually giving yourself a point of differentiation in the job market. So do yourself a favor and let go of that goal of the perfect 4.0 GPA. Demonstrate that you've got more to offer than that. Employers want skills, not scholars, and traditional academics teach theory, not practice. Now, this is changing to some extent, and the reason it's changing is because the soft skills that are listed on this slide, for example, are increasingly important in our contemporary workplaces. Being able to communicate might sound like a simple skill that goes without saying, but knowing what to say when and how is a skill that definitely needs to be developed in the professional context. Understanding that professionalism is also about persistence and tenacity and the simple task of following up. These are skills that you will need, and these are skills that can be developed. So this list of soft skills might be lightly covered in a business communications course, for example, but typically undergraduate business students are not given the opportunity to develop personally and professionally with regards to soft skills that are extremely important in the current workplace. So we follow this point about the need for personal and professional development with the point about learning from failure. There's an old Chinese saying that suggests that we learn little from success and we learn much from failure. And we see evidence of this lesson in the business context, because in boom times, for example, it doesn't really matter if our systems are not operating as efficiently and effectively as they could be. But when the economy takes a downturn and we are faced with having to survive, then it's extremely important that our systems are operating as efficiently and as effectively as they possibly can be. So when we are faced with situations of failure, we can ask ourselves, what circumstances created this failure? And going forward, how will we better recognize these red flags? We can ask what lessons were learned from the failure that we experienced, and how can we build our systems to be stronger, more effective and efficient operations. It's uncomfortable to move away from the status quo. It's risky to do things in a different way. But that's the magic of learning from failure. So the fifth and final truth that is typically not highlighted in business school is that business is both art and science. It's really important for sure to understand what the KPIs are in your role, in your organization. KPIs are drivers of business success. We definitely need to know what our metrics are. We need to be able to monitor and adjust and be flexible to ensure that we have our business goals on track. But creativity is also a driver of success. Creating content and creatively designing business strategy. These are extremely important drivers of business success. Understanding when simplicity is the way to go. Understanding when capturing complexity is the way to go. And so effectively, industry disruption is a creative act. So the point of this presentation about truths that you probably won't hear in business school is that undergraduate business students need support. I'm offering you the opportunity to work with me and to get the academic support that you need. Give yourself the advantage and choose to work with me. Click the link in the description box below to schedule your free 30 minutes one-on-one consultation with me. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Welcome any questions in the comments below, and see you again soon.